Você vai deixar a vida te levar? Quem você quer ser? O que você vai fazer? Acredito que nós podemos te dar uma direção e te ajudar. Aqui, você vai aprender inglês e francês, e como fazer o seu currículo e a sua carta de apresentação para conseguir o seu trabalho no Canadá. É agora? Mexa-se e mude a sua vida, corajosamente indo onde você nunca foi antes.
You know that you and only you can change your life. It is time to make your dreams a reality in your life. We are going to help you now. Here, you are going to learn how to have a decent conversation with people around you, in your life, in your working place, and get your new job, in your life. In this video, you will learn little by little these new things. Don't need to rush yourself. Now let's see. To boldly go, where you have never gone before.
Continue grammar terms, a glossary of English grammatical and linguistic terms, with definitions, explanations and example sentences. This glossary of English grammar terms relates to the English language. Some terms here may have additional or extended meanings when applied to other languages. For example, case in some languages applies to pronouns and nouns. In English, nouns do not have cases, and therefore no reference to nouns is made in its definition here. Term definition: active voice, one of two voices in English, a direct form of expression where the subject performs or acts the verb. See also passive voice, e.g. Many people, trice adjective part of speech that typically describes or modifies a noun, e.g. it was a big dog. Adjective clause, seldom used term for relative clause, adjunct word or phrase that adds information to a sentence and that can be removed from the sentence without making the sentence ungrammatical, e.g. I met John at school. Adverb, word that modifies a verb, an adjective or another adverb, e.g. quickly, really. Very, adverbial clause, dependent clause that acts like an adverb and indicates such things as time, place or reason, e.g. although we are getting older, we grow more beautiful each day. Affirmative statement that expresses or claims to express a truth or yes meaning, opposite of negative, e.g. the sun is hot. Affix, language unit, morpheme that occurs before or after or sometimes within the root or stem of a word, e.g. un and unhappy. Prefix, ness and happiness. Suffix, agreement, also known as concord. Logical, in a grammatical sense, links between words based on tense, case or number, e.g. this phone, these phones. Antecedent word, phrase or clause that is replaced by a pronoun or other substitute when mentioned subsequently in the same sentence or later, e.g. Emily is nice because she brings me flowers. Apostrophe